Chapter 1. The Morning That Shouldn't Exist. The first thing Lena Harper noticed was the silence. Not the peaceful kind, the kind that settles over a room before sleep, but a heavy, unnatural quiet, like the world was holding its breath. Her eyes fluttered open, instinctively searching for the familiar cracks in her bedroom ceiling, the faint glow of the digital clock on her nightstand, the hum of traffic from Interstate 5 drifting through the cracked window. None of it matched. The ceiling above her was smooth, white, too perfect. Lena sat up abruptly, her heart pounding. The bed was bigger, softer. The sheets smelled like detergent she didn't recognize. Lavender and something expensive. Sunlight spilled in through tall glass windows framed by pale gray curtains. Outside, palm trees swayed gently against a cloudless blue sky. Palm trees. She lived in Portland. There were no palm trees in Portland. "This is a dream," she whispered, pressing her fingers into the mattress. The fabric yielded under her touch. Real, textured, undeniably solid. She swung her legs over the side of the bed and stood. Her feet met warm hardwood floors, not the cold carpet she was used to. A full-length mirror leaned against the wall across from her, and her reflection stared back. It was her. Same dark brown eyes, same small scar above her left eyebrow from when she'd fallen off her bike at 12. Same shoulder-length hair, though styled differently, sleeker, straighter, like she'd put effort into it. But the clothes were wrong. She was wearing an oversized white t-shirt with a faded Massa logo and soft gray sweatpants she didn't own. Her chest tightened. Lena crossed the room slowly, every step cautious, like the floor might vanish beneath her. She opened the bedroom door. The hallway beyond was wide and modern, lined with framed photographs. She stopped dead. The photos showed her, at different ages, in different places. There she was at what looked like a high school graduation, wearing a navy blue cap and gown. That couldn't be right. She had dropped out during her sophomore year after her mom got sick. Another photo showed her standing beside a young man she didn't recognize, his arm draped casually around her shoulders. Both of them were smiling at the camera like they belonged there. "Okay," Lena murmured, her pulse racing. "Okay, I'm dreaming, or I hit my head, or something else." She continued down the hall, drawn by the faint sound of voices. "Late again," a woman was saying, her tone playful rather than annoyed. "She's always late." A man laughed. "That's our Lena." Our Lena. The words sent a chill down her spine. Lena reached the end of the hallway and stepped into a bright, open kitchen. Marble countertops, stainless steel appliances, sunlight flooding the room through floor-to-ceiling windows. At the kitchen island stood a woman in her early 40s, flipping pancakes on a skillet. Her hair was pulled into a loose bun, a few strands escaping around her face. She looked up. Her smile froze, then widened. "There you are," the woman said warmly. "I was about to come wake you. You okay? You looked exhausted last night." Lena's mouth opened, but no sound came out. Behind the woman, a man folded a newspaper and glanced up. He had salt and pepper hair and familiar eyes. Eyes Lena had seen in old photographs, not in real life. Her father. Except her father had died when she was 16. "Morning, kiddo," he said, sipping his coffee. "You sleep through your alarm again?" The room tilted. Lena gripped the back of a chair to steady herself. You're... Her voice cracked. The woman frowned, concern replacing her smile. "Lena?" Lena swallowed hard. Who are you?" The silence that followed was sharp and immediate. Her father slowly set his mug down. "What?" The woman stepped closer. "Sweetheart, are you feeling okay? It's me, Mom." Mom. That was impossible. Her mother had died of ovarian cancer 3 years ago. Lena remembered holding her hand in a dim hospital room, the machines beeping steadily until they didn't. "No," Lena said, shaking her head. "This isn't real. You're not... This isn't..." Her mother's face crumpled. "Okay," she said softly. "Okay, sit down. Let's just sit down." Lena let herself be guided into a chair, her body moving on autopilot. Her heart was racing so fast it hurt. "This is a prank," Lena said weakly, "or I'm hallucinating, or—" Her father crouched in front of her, looking her straight in the eyes. "Lena, listen to me. You're home. You woke up late. That's all. Nothing weird is happening." Nothing weird. Lena laughed, a short, hysterical sound. "My mother is dead. My father is dead. I live in a one-bedroom apartment above a laundromat, and I work double shifts at a coffee shop because I never finished school. So either I've lost my mind, or this world isn't mine." Her parents stared at her like she'd just spoken another language. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. "Honey, why would you say that?" "Because it's true," Lena thought. Her father straightened, his expression tense. "You dropped out of NYU now?" Lena blinked. "What?" "NYU," he repeated slowly. "You've been going there for 4 years." "No," Lena said. "I never went to college." The man exchanged a glance with her mother, one filled with fear. "This isn't funny," her mother whispered. Lena's phone buzzed on the counter. The sound was sharp in the quiet kitchen. She stared at it like it was a bomb. Her phone was newer than the one she owned, sleeker, uncracked, its screen lighting up with a notification. "Maya, did you make it home okay? You vanished from the party." Lena picked up the phone with trembling hands. The lock screen photo showed her and the same unknown guy from the hallway picture, their heads pressed together, laughing. She unlocked it. There were hundreds of unread messages, photos, social media apps logged into accounts with thousands of followers, emails from professors, calendar reminders for things she didn't recognize. Her reflection stared back at her from the black screen edges, eyes wide with terror. "Who is Maya?" Lena asked quietly. Her mother let out a shaky breath. "Your best friend." Lena's fingers tightened around the phone. "Then where," she asked slowly, "is the Lena you know?" No one answered. The silence that followed was sharp and immediate. The house creaked softly, settling around them like it always had, like it had for years. But Lena felt like an intruder in someone else's life. Somewhere in this world, there was another version of her who belonged here, who knew these people, who had lived these choices. And Lena had taken her place. Outside, the palm trees swayed. The world kept going. And Lena Harper realized, with terrifying clarity, that she had woken up in a timeline that didn't want her, but wasn't letting her leave. Chapter 2. The Life She Never Lived. Lena locked herself in the bathroom and threw up. Not delicately, not quietly. The kind of violent, body-racking nausea that came from reality shattering all at once. She braced her hands against the cool marble sink and stared at her reflection afterward, her breath coming in uneven gasps. "Get it together," she whispered to herself. The woman in the mirror looked composed, healthy, well-rested, untouched by the exhaustion that had carved permanent shadows into the Lena she knew. This version of her had clearer skin, straighter posture. Even her eyes looked different, like they were used to being seen. She splashed cold water on her face and tried to think logically. If this was a dream, it was too consistent, too detailed. If it was a psychotic break, it was disturbingly elaborate. And if, God help her, it was real, then she was trapped in someone else's life. A knock came at the door. "Lena," her mother's voice called softly, "can I come in?" Her chest tightened at the word mother. "Just give me a minute." "Of course, sweetheart." Sweetheart. The tenderness in the voice made her eyes burn. Lena dried her hands and unlocked the door. Her mother stood there, worry etched into her face like a crack in glass. "You scared us," she said gently. "You've never acted like that before." Before. "I don't feel well." she said. It wasn't a lie. My head hurts. Everything feels wrong. Her mother reached out instinctively, pressing a hand to Lena's forehead. No fever. Did you drink too much last night? I didn't go to a party, Lena said automatically. Her mother hesitated. Maya said you left early. You didn't answer her calls. Maya, again. I think I need to lie down, alone, just for a bit. Her mother studied her closely, then nodded. Okay, but we're calling Dr. Feldman if this continues. Doctor? Therapist? Neurologist? Lena didn't ask. She retreated back to the bedroom and shut the door, her hands shaking as she locked it. Then she turned to the phone. She sat on the bed and scrolled. The name at the top of the messages, Maya Rodriguez, had hundreds of texts, voice notes, selfies, long emotional rants at 2 a.m. This Maya knew her deeply, trusted her. Lena tapped on the contact photo. A woman with warm brown eyes and a sharp smile stared back, confident, familiar in the way strangers sometimes were. Lena opened the most recent messages. Maya, you scared me last night. Maya, 1 second you were there, the next you were just gone. Maya, call me when you wake up, okay? Vanished. Lena's stomach dropped. She checked the timestamp on the last photo taken on the phone. 11:47 p.m. last night. The image showed Lena, this Lena, standing in a crowded apartment, lights strung across the ceiling, music blaring. Her eyes were half-lidded, smiling, like she was mid-laugh. Lena didn't remember any of it. She scrolled through her calendar. Cognitive Science Seminar, Monday. Dinner with Evan, Thursday. Interview, Horizon Labs, Friday. Horizon Labs. The name triggered something cold and instinctive in her chest, though she didn't know why. She searched it. Dozens of emails popped up, formal, technical, signed by people with titles like Senior Research Director and Temporal Systems Division. Temporal. Lena dropped the phone. It hit the bed with a soft thud. No, she whispered. She picked it back up, hands trembling, and opened the most recent email. We were impressed by your thesis proposal, Lena. Your ideas regarding consciousness persistence across divergent timelines align closely with our current research objectives. Her breath caught. She had spent years barely surviving, working shifts, paying bills, watching her world shrink. She had never written a thesis, never studied science beyond what she'd learned on her own at night, reading articles she didn't fully understand. Yet, here was proof. This Lena had. A knock again, firmer this time. Lena, her father said through the door. We need to talk. She opened it reluctantly. He stood there, arms crossed, concern written all over his face. Alive, solid, impossible. You said some things this morning, things that don't make sense. Lena nodded. Because none of this makes sense to me. He sighed and gestured toward the bed. Sit. She did. You're my daughter. You've lived in this house your whole life. You've been preparing for your post-grad research for months. You don't have to pretend with us. I'm not pretending, Lena said quietly. I swear. He searched her face, as if looking for a crack in a mask. Then what are you saying? Lena hesitated. If she told the truth, she'd be institutionalized, drugged, studied. But lying felt worse. I think, she said slowly, that I'm not the Lena you know. His expression hardened. I think I'm from somewhere else, a version of the world where things went differently. He stood abruptly. That's enough. I remember you dying, Lena blurted out. The words hung in the air like smoke. Her father froze. I remember the funeral, the rain, the closed casket. I remember wishing I had said more to you. He stared at her, pale. That's not something you joke about, he said hoarsely. I know. Silence. Finally, he spoke again, his voice low. You're going to see a doctor. I figured. He left the room without another word. Lena curled in on herself, shaking. She wasn't just displaced, she was replacing someone. Her phone buzzed again. Maya. I'm coming over. Panic flared. She typed quickly. Lena. Please don't. I'm not feeling well. The typing bubble appeared almost instantly. Maya. That's exactly why I'm coming. A minute later, another message appeared, from a different name. Evan. We need to talk. Something's wrong. Her chest tightened. Evan, the man from the photos, the one whose arm rested on her shoulders like it belonged there. She opened his contact. The conversation history was intimate, comfortable, dangerous. She locked the phone and stared at the ceiling. Somewhere, maybe not far from here, another Lena Harper was missing, and Lena had a terrifying thought she couldn't shake. What if the reason she was here was because the other Lena wasn't coming back? Outside, a car pulled into the driveway. Lena sat up sharply. Voices drifted up from downstairs. Maya had arrived, and Lena had no idea how long she could keep pretending to be someone she wasn't, especially when that someone might have known exactly how to cross between worlds. Chapter 3. The First Crack. Maya Rodriguez did not knock. She never did, apparently. Lena heard the front door open, followed by the familiar sound of laughter that stopped abruptly mid-breath. Okay, said Maya from downstairs. Something is definitely wrong. Lena stood frozen in her bedroom, heart hammering. She glanced at the mirror one last time, searching for some clue, some instruction etched into her own face. Be her, the reflection seemed to say. Just be her. Footsteps climbed the stairs fast. Maya appeared in the doorway, a whirlwind of denim jacket and dark curls, her sharp eyes locking onto Lena instantly. There you are, she said. Then she stopped smiling. Maya crossed the room in 3 long steps. What happened to you? I'm sick, Lena said. Maya snorted. You're lying. The certainty in her voice made Lena flinch. Maya dropped onto the edge of the bed and studied her face like a puzzle. You didn't answer my calls. You disappeared from my party without saying goodbye, and now you're looking at me like you've never seen me before. I have seen you, just not today. Maya's eyes narrowed. Okay, that was creepy. Lena swallowed. I don't remember last night. Not even the argument? Lena's stomach dropped. What argument? Maya leaned back slowly. You're kidding. I wish I were. Maya pulled out her phone and tapped the screen, then shoved it toward Lena. A video played. It showed Lena, the other Lena, standing on the apartment balcony last night. Her face was tense, eyes sharp. You don't get it, Video Lena said. If I'm right, then none of this is random. Not the dreams, not the shifts, not me. The video ended abruptly, cutting to darkness. Lena's hands were ice cold. What was she talking about? Lena whispered. Maya's voice was suddenly quiet. You tell me. You've been acting strange for weeks. Lena looked up. How strange? Maya hesitated. You started talking about déjà vu, about waking up with memories that didn't feel like yours. You said sometimes it felt like you were overlapping. Overlapping. Lena's breath caught. You also said, Maya continued, that if anything ever happened to you, really happened, I should remind you of one thing. Lena's heart pounded. What thing? Maya met her eyes. The number 1127. The room seemed to tilt. I don't know what it means, Maya said quickly. I thought it was just stress, too much caffeine, too much grad school. Lena closed her eyes. 11:27 burned behind her eyelids. She didn't know why, but it felt important. Did I say anything else? Lena asked. Maya studied her. You said, if I ever look at you like a stranger, then it worked. A chill crawled up Lena's spine. Worked? Lena echoed. Before Maya could answer, Lena's phone buzzed. Unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. Lena Harper, this is Dr. Adrian Cole from Horizon Labs. We noticed a disruption last night. Lena's blood ran cold. A disruption? She repeated. Yes, Dr. Cole said smoothly. A divergence event. And judging by your silence, I'm guessing you're experiencing post-transition confusion. Maya stared at her, eyes wide. You weren't supposed to wake up at home, the man continued, but don't worry, that happens sometimes. Sometimes. What did you do to me? Lena whispered. A pause. Not to you, Dr. Cole corrected. With you. The line went dead. Lena lowered the phone slowly. Maya said, Who was that? Lena looked at her best friend, the only anchor she had in this world. Horizon Labs, she said, and I think the other me knew exactly what was coming. A sharp pain exploded behind Lena's eyes. Images flooded her mind, flashes of white rooms, humming machines, equations scrawled on glass walls, and one final memory that wasn't hers but felt like it belonged. A voice whispering, If this works, I won't remember you, but you have to trust her. She's still me. Lena gasped, clutching her head. Maya caught her before she fell. Lena, Maya said urgently, what's happening? Lena looked up, tears in her eyes. I think, she said, voice shaking, that I didn't accidentally end up here. She swallowed hard. I think I was sent. Outside, somewhere deep beneath Horizon Labs, a monitor flickered back to life. Timeline integration successful. Subject A, stable. Subject B, unaccounted for. And for the first time since she woke up, Lena understood something terrifying. This universe had been prepared for her arrival. Chapter 4. The Rules of the Crossing. Lena didn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, her mind dragged her back to white corridors and echoing footsteps that didn't belong to her memory. The house was quiet now. Her parents had gone to bed, unaware that their daughter was unraveling in a way no doctor could explain. Maya sat cross-legged on the floor, laptop open, eyes darting between Lena and the screen. Okay, Maya said, breaking the silence. You don't know my middle name. You flinched when I hugged you, and you cried when you saw my dog in your phone photos, like you'd never met him. That's fair. And, Maya added quietly, you're terrified, real terrified. You can't fake that. Relief washed over Lena so suddenly she almost laughed. Thank you. Maya turned the laptop toward her. I went through her files. Lena tensed. And? There's a hidden folder. Encrypted, but not very well, Maya smirked. You underestimate my hobbies. The screen filled with diagrams, overlapping circles, branching lines, timestamps layered like transparent sheets. This is her theory, Maya said. She called it convergent divergence. Lena leaned forward, drawn in. She believed timelines don't just split, they brush against each other. Most people never notice, but sometimes, rarely, two versions of the same person reach the same psychological state at the same time. And then, Lena asked. And then, Maya said, they swap. A chill ran through Lena. Swap how? Not physically, consciously. Memory dominance. One mind becomes primary. Lena swallowed. So I didn't replace her body. No, You replaced her control. Lena pressed her hands to her temples. Where is she? Maya hesitated. That's the part she didn't finish. A sudden knock echoed through the house. Both of them froze. Lena, a man's voice called from downstairs. It's me. Evan. Lena's heart slammed against her ribs. Maya mouthed, Do you want me to lie? Lena shook her head. No more lying. They went downstairs together. Evan stood in the living room, tall and tense, his jacket still on. His eyes softened the moment he saw Lena, and then sharpened. You're not okay, he said. Lena exhaled. No. He looked at Maya. Can we talk alone? No, Maya said firmly. You can talk in front of me. Evan studied Lena again, then nodded slowly. That's new. What is? Lena asked. You usually defend me. Guilt twisted in her stomach. Evan rubbed the back of his neck. Horizon Labs called me. Lena's blood ran cold. Why? Because I work there. Or worked. Maya's eyes widened. You didn't tell her? Evan's jaw tightened. I was going to. Lena felt the floor shift beneath her. You're part of this? She whispered. Yes, Evan said softly, but not the way you think. He took a breath. Your other self, our Lena, came to us with the theory. Horizon didn't invent it. She did. Lena struggled to process that. She believed, Evan continued, that someone was manipulating convergence points, forcing swaps. For what? Lena asked. Evan met her gaze. To see what survives. A low hum filled Lena's ears. She was scared, he said, and brilliant, and convinced that the only way to prove it was to become the variable. So she used herself as bait, Maya said. Evan nodded. She initiated the crossing. Lena felt hollow. And me? You were the closest match, Evan said. Same trauma threshold, same unresolved grief. You were compatible. Compatible. That's not consent, Maya snapped. Evan flinched. I know. Lena's vision blurred. You let this happen. Evan stepped closer. I tried to stop her. Did you? Lena demanded. Or did you believe the data more than her safety? Silence. That was answer enough. Lena backed away. I want to go home, she said. My home. Evan shook his head. You can't. Not yet. Why? Because of the rules, he said. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper, creased, worn, memorized. Rule 1, he read. Memory dominance stabilizes within 72 hours. After that, reversal is exponentially dangerous. Lena's heart sank. I've been here almost 24. Rule 2, Evan continued. The body will reject prolonged inconsistency, headaches, blackouts, personality bleed. Lena touched her temple. And Rule 3? Maya asked quietly. Evan hesitated. Tell her, Maya said. If one version dies, Evan said slowly, the other becomes permanent. The words landed like a gunshot. Lena's breath hitched. Dies where? Anywhere, Evan said. Any timeline. A scream rose in Lena's chest. So if the other Lena is dead, she isn't, Evan said quickly. We'd know. But she's missing, Lena said. Your system said subject B was unaccounted for. Evan looked away. That was enough. Lena felt something inside her harden, not fear, but resolve. She didn't just send me here to survive. She sent me here to finish something. Maya nodded slowly. Then we find her. Evan met Lena's eyes. And if Horizon finds you first, they won't let you leave. Outside, a black SUV idled quietly across the street. Inside, Lena Harper understood the final truth of the crossing. She wasn't just in the wrong timeline, she was in the middle of a war over which version of reality deserved to exist. Chapter 5. Memory Bleed. The headache started at exactly 2:17 a.m. Lena knew because she was staring at the digital clock when it hit, sharp, electric, like someone had driven a spike behind her right eye. She gasped and rolled onto her side, clutching her head as images flooded in without permission. White light, glass walls covered with equations, her own handwriting, only it wasn't hers. Stability requires sacrifice. Lena bolted upright, drenched in sweat. "No," she whispered, "not yet." The room pulsed, the edges of reality bending slightly, like heat rising from asphalt. For a split second, she wasn't in the bedroom anymore. She was standing in a lab. Alarms blared, red lights flashed. "Lena, get out!" someone shouted, Evan's voice, but younger, desperate. Her heart slammed as she was pulled back into the present, gasping for air. The pain eased, leaving behind something worse: understanding. She knew the layout of Horizon Labs, every corridor, every security checkpoint, because the other Lena had walked them 100 times. By morning, the decision was made. "No," Maya said flatly. "Absolutely not." "I don't have a choice," Lena replied, tying her hair back with shaking hands. "She built something there, something Horizon doesn't fully understand." Evan stood near the door, tense. "If we go in, we do it clean. No alarms, no records." "We?" Maya shot him a look. Evan met her gaze. "I'm not letting her do this alone." Lena hesitated, then nodded. "Okay." The drive to Horizon Labs felt unreal. The building rose from the city like a monument to control, glass and steel, flawless and cold. Security gates slid open as Evan flashed his badge, his jaw tight. Inside, Lena's head throbbed again. She knew this place. They moved quickly, avoiding main corridors. Every turn felt guided by instinct rather than thought. "Left," Lena said suddenly. Evan paused. "That's not on the map." "It is," Lena insisted. "Just hidden." They followed her. The corridor ended at a blank wall. Lena pressed her palm against it. The panel slid open. Maya stared. "You're kidding." "I wish." They entered a smaller lab, dim, abandoned, sealed off from the main network. At the center stood a chair. Metal restraints, neural interface ports. Maya swallowed. "That's not a simulator." "No," Lena said quietly. "That's the bridge." Her head screamed again. She staggered forward, gripping the console as memories poured in. Her other self arguing with Dr. Cole, rewriting code in secret, crying alone in the dark. She knew Horizon would weaponize it, so she hid the failsafe. Evan's eyes widened. "What failsafe?" Lena looked up. "Me." A sudden sound, footsteps, voices, security. "They're early," Evan muttered. "We need to move." Lena's gaze locked onto the console screen. One file pulsed softly. Subject B, status displaced, active. Her breath caught. "She's alive," Lena whispered. Maya grabbed her arm. "Lena!" Lena tapped the file, and video opened. The other Lena stared back at her from the screen, pale, exhausted, eyes burning with purpose. "If you're seeing this," video Lena said, "then I was right, and you're here because you were strong enough to survive what I couldn't." Lena's vision blurred with tears. "They won't tell you this, but I didn't disappear. I was pushed into a collapsed branch, a timeline Horizon can't observe without destabilizing it." The lights flickered. "You have 72 hours before integration becomes permanent. After that, only one of us can remain." Footsteps grew louder. "I'm sorry," the other Lena whispered, "but if you want to go home, you're going to have to break reality to do it." The video cut out. Alarms blared. Red lights flooded the room. Evan swore. "They know." Maya grabbed Lena's hand. "We're leaving, now." As they ran, Lena felt it again, a pull, deep in her chest like gravity shifting. The memory bleed wasn't just starting, it was synchronizing. And somewhere in a broken version of the universe, the other Lena Harper was waiting for rescue or replacement. Chapter 6. The Collapsed Branch. They didn't stop running until the city swallowed them. Lena barely remembered how they escaped Horizon Labs, only the sensation of doors sliding open seconds too late, of Evan shouting codes that shouldn't have worked, of Maya yanking her through a stairwell while sirens screamed like living things. By the time they reached the car, Lena's hands were numb. "Drive," she whispered. Maya did. The headache returned halfway across the bridge. This time it wasn't pain, it was pressure, like the world was folding inward, compressing space inside her skull. Lena clutched the door as the skyline warped, just for a heartbeat, before snapping back into place. "Did you feel that?" Lena asked. Maya glanced at her in the rearview mirror. "Feel what?" Evan's jaw tightened. "I did." Lena swallowed. "She's close." They hid in an old motel on the edge of the city, the kind with flickering neon and carpets that smelled faintly of bleach and regret. Evan jammed the door sensor while Maya pulled the curtains tight. The room felt wrong, too quiet. The air buzzed faintly like static before a storm. Lena sat on the bed and closed her eyes. She didn't mean to reach. She just stopped resisting. The world tilted. The motel dissolved, and Lena was somewhere else. The sky was fractured, not metaphorically, literally. Cracks ran through it like broken glass, light leaking through in unnatural angles. Buildings stood half-faded, edges blurred, as if they hadn't fully decided to exist. Lena stood in the middle of a familiar street, her street, but it was empty. "Hello?" she called. Her voice echoed too many times. Footsteps approached. She turned. The woman walking toward her looked exactly like her. Same face, same eyes, but sharper, harder, like someone carved by constant fear. The other Lena stopped a few feet away. "So," she said softly, "you made it." Lena's breath caught. "You're real." A tired smile. "I was starting to worry you wouldn't come." Lena took a shaky step forward. "Why did you do this?" The other Lena laughed quietly. "You think I wanted to disappear." "Then why me?" Lena demanded. "Why pull me into this?" "Because you survived," the other Lena said simply. "Your world broke you, and you kept going. That made you strong enough to anchor the transfer." "That wasn't your choice to make." "I know." Her voice cracked. "But Horizon was closing in. They would have forced it anyway, and then neither of us would have had a choice." Lena shook her head. "You used me as a failsafe." "Yes," the other Lena admitted, "and as a mirror." The sky rumbled overhead. "This place," Lena said, gesturing around them, "what is it?" "A collapsed branch, a timeline that lost coherence when they tried to observe it. It's unstable but hidden." "And you're stuck here?" "For now." Lena swallowed. "They said only one of us can remain." The other Lena met her gaze. "That's the lie they tell to keep control." Hope flared. "There's a third option," the other Lena continued, "but it's dangerous." "Tell me." "We merge," she said. Lena froze. "Merge how?" "Shared consciousness, no dominance, no erasure." Her eyes softened. "Two lives, one mind." Lena's head pulsed at the thought. "And Horizon?" Lena asked. "They lose their leverage." The ground shook violently. Time was running out. "If we don't decide soon," the other Lena warned, "integration will lock and Horizon will choose for us." Lena stared at the woman who had stolen her life and given her a chance to take it back. "What if we fail?" Lena whispered. The other Lena stepped closer. "Then neither of us survives." The fractured sky began to collapse inward. Somewhere far away, Lena heard Maya calling her name. The pull intensified. Lena had seconds. She closed her eyes and reached for the only person who could understand what it meant to lose everything. Herself. Lena gasped and snapped back into the motel room, lungs burning. Maya was shaking her shoulders. "You were gone," she cried. "Your heart rate dropped. I thought—" Evan stared at Lena, pale. "You saw her." Lena nodded slowly. "She's alive, and she wants to merge." Silence filled the room. Evan exhaled shakily. "That's theoretically impossible." "Then reality's about to learn something new," Lena said. Outside, thunder rolled across a clear sky. Horizon Lab's satellites realigned in orbit, and the countdown to a decision that would fracture or redefine existence had begun. Chapter 7. The Cost of Becoming. The dreams started immediately. Lena slept for 12 hours straight and woke up knowing how to solve equations she'd never learned, remembering childhood moments that hadn't happened to her, feeling emotions tied to choices she had never made. She remembered winning a science fair at 14. She remembered kissing Evan for the first time, and remembered not trusting him. 2 truths, 1 mind. She sat up in the motel bed, shaking. "This is already happening," she whispered. Maya sat nearby, eyes bloodshot from lack of sleep. "You were talking in your sleep. 2 voices, both yours." Lena pressed her fingers to her temples. "She's leaking through." Avon looked grim. "That means the merge has started, but without stabilization." "What does that mean?" Maya asked. "It means," Avon said quietly, "you won't just share memories. You'll share instincts, desires, fear responses." Lena swallowed. "How long until I can't tell which thoughts are mine?" Avon didn't answer. That was answer enough. A chime echoed from Lena's phone. Unknown sender. A video message auto-played. Dr. Adrian Cole filled the screen, calm as ever. "Lena," he said, as if speaking to an old friend, "you've made contact with subject B. That was expected." Maya cursed under her breath. "You're running out of time," Dr. Cole continued. "The merge will destroy your psychological coherence, but we can prevent that." Lena stared at the screen. "By killing her?" Dr. Cole smiled thinly. "By containing her, and, if necessary, choosing which version of you continues." Avon stepped forward. "You don't get to choose." "Oh, Avon," Cole said gently, "you already helped us do that." The message ended. Lena's hands were shaking. "They're going to collapse her timeline, force the merge to fail." Avon nodded. "And blame you." Silence fell. Then Lena spoke, calm, terrifyingly calm. "Then we finish it first." Maya looked at her. "Finish what?" "The merge," Lena said, "on our terms." Avon inhaled sharply. "That could kill you." "It could save us both." Lena closed her eyes. She felt the other Lena immediately. "You're serious?" the voice inside her said, not out loud, but everywhere. "I am," Lena replied. "If we do this, there's no undoing it." "I know." A pause. Then acceptance. "Okay," the other Lena said softly. "Then we become something new." The air in the room shifted. Lights flickered. Lena gasped as the pressure surged, memories colliding, identities weaving together like strands of DNA. She saw both childhoods at once, both losses, both versions of love. She screamed, not in pain, but in transformation. Maya grabbed her, tears streaming. "Lena, stay with me." Avon worked frantically at the equipment he jury-rigged from Horizon Tech. "Hold on, just hold on." Somewhere deep within, Lena felt a breaking point and pushed past it. She stopped screaming. She opened her eyes. They were brighter now, sharper, different. "I'm here," she said. Both voices were gone, but not erased, integrated. She stood slowly, steady on her feet. Maya stared at her. "Lena?" Lena smiled faintly. Yes, and more. A sudden tremor shook the building. Evan looked at his monitor. Horizon just initiated a collapse protocol. For which timeline? Maya asked. Lena answered before he could. Both. She looked toward the window where the sky shimmered unnaturally. They're trying to reset the system, she said. Erase the anomaly. Maya's voice trembled. Can we stop them? Lena felt something new inside her. Not just memory, but access. Yes, she said, but it means going back. Evan stared at her. Back where? Horizon Labs, Lena said. She met his eyes, no fear left now. And this time, she added, we're not subjects. Thunder cracked overhead. Reality bent. And Lena Harper, no longer just one version, stepped forward to face the people who had tried to own existence itself. Chapter 8. The Center of the Storm. Horizon Labs was already in lockdown when they arrived. Steel barriers sealed the lower levels. Drones hovered near the entrances, scanning for anomalies, scanning for her. Lena felt their attention like pressure against her skin, not painful, just aware. They know you're different, Evan muttered, steering them toward a service entrance. I'm not hiding, I'm aligning. The doors slid open before Evan could hack them. Maya stared. You didn't even touch the panel. Lena tilted her head listening, not to sound, but to pattern. Horizon built their system to predict convergence, but they forgot something. What? Maya asked. They never accounted for consent. Inside, alarms pulsed in a slow, rhythmic warning. Scientists and security moved through the halls in controlled panic. Lena walked straight through them. No one stopped her. Screens flickered as she passed, equations rewriting themselves, timelines branching and collapsing in real time. Dr. Adrian Cole waited in the central chamber, the heart of Horizon. He stood with his hands clasped behind his back, eyes bright with something close to awe. There you are, he said. I was hoping you'd come before the collapse completed. You're killing worlds, Lena said. Cole smiled. I'm pruning chaos. Every unstable branch threatens the whole structure. You don't own the structure, Lena replied. I understand it, he said. That gives me responsibility. Lena stepped forward. You forced convergence, she said. You stole lies to see what would break. Cole shook his head gently. Sacrifice is the price of progress. Lena closed her eyes. For a moment, she felt every version of herself that had ever existed. Countless choices, countless paths, all brushing against her consciousness. She opened her eyes. No, she said. Sacrifice was your excuse. She raised her hand. The chamber shook violently. What are you doing? Cole demanded. Returning choice, Lena said. The system screens exploded into cascading light. Horizon's core algorithm unraveled, not destroyed, but rewritten. Evan shouted, Lena, if you keep this up, I know, she said softly. I can't stay. Maya's breath caught. What? Lena looked back at her. I'm the bridge now. As long as I exist like this, Horizon or someone like them will try again. Cole laughed, incredulous. You think erasing yourself will save reality? I'm not erasing, Lena said. I'm dispersing. She turned back to the core. I'm giving the timelines back to themselves. The room filled with blinding white light. Cole screamed as the system shut him out completely. Evan reached for Lena, but his hands passed through her, shimmering. Thank you, Lena said to him, for trying. She looked at Maya. Live, Lena said simply. Then she stepped forward and vanished. The collapse stopped. Across countless realities, fractures sealed, divergent paths stabilized. Horizon Labs went dark. Maya woke up on the floor of the central chamber. Evan lay nearby, breathing, alive. There was no sign of Lena. Weeks passed. The world moved on. Horizon was dismantled quietly, files erased, executives disappeared. But sometimes, late at night, Maya would dream of standing at a crossroads, feeling watched, protected, and somewhere in the infinite weave of existence, a presence lingered. Not one Lena, not two, but a choice that could never be taken away again. Chapter 9, Echoes of Her. The motel room was quiet. Maya sat cross-legged on the bed, staring at the ceiling, tracing imaginary cracks with her finger. Evan leaned against the wall, silent, lost in thought. The air smelled faintly of burnt coffee from the emergency rations they had hastily grabbed before fleeing Horizon Labs. No one spoke for long minutes. Finally, Maya broke the silence. "She's gone." Evan shook his head. "Not gone. Different." Maya frowned. "Different? What do you mean?" "She dispersed," Evan said quietly. "Lena didn't die. She became something else. Something that exists between timelines." Maya's brow furrowed. "Between timelines? Like ghosts?" "No," Evan said. "Better. More aware. She's everywhere she needs to be to stabilize reality. She's the bridge now." Maya's eyes went wide. "So, she's still alive?" "Yes," Evan confirmed, "but not like us. Not in a physical sense. She can't interact directly anymore unless she wants to." Maya leaned back against the bed, staring at the ceiling. "She saved everything, but she's alone." Evan gave a small, grim smile. "Not alone. She has every version of herself that ever existed, and maybe she's waiting, watching." Maya's phone buzzed. She ignored it, feeling disconnected from normal life. "I can't believe we were part of this," she muttered. "That she... I mean, all of it." Evan placed a hand on her shoulder. "She trusted us. That's what mattered. And now the rest is up to her." Maya looked at him. "Do you ever think we'll see her again?" Evan's eyes softened. "Maybe. In the cracks. In the moments between. In the choices we make." Maya laughed quietly, shaking her head. "You sound like a prophet." Evan chuckled softly. "Or someone who survived a timeline collapse." The days passed. The world outside went back to normal, or as close to normal as it could get, after the strange events surrounding Horizon Labs. People went to work, argued over coffee, posted photos online. But for Maya and Evan, everything was tinted with the knowledge of what had happened, the invisible weight of someone who existed just beyond reach. And then, late one night, Maya was alone in her apartment, scrolling through old photos on her phone. She paused on a picture of Lena, the Lena she had known in this world. Her eyes lingered on the faint, inexplicable glow around Lena's figure in the photograph. It wasn't digital distortion. It wasn't a filter. It was alive. Maya whispered softly, almost to herself, "Lena?" Across the city, somewhere unseen, a presence stirred. It was subtle at first, a ripple in the air, a shift in probability that no one could notice. But it was unmistakable. Lena Harper existed. She was no longer confined to one reality, one body, or one timeline. She was everywhere and nowhere, a silent guardian in the folds of existence. And somewhere deep inside her consciousness, she smiled. She had become the girl who woke up in a different timeline, but now she was the one who held all timelines together. And in that, she had finally come home. Chapter 10. Between Worlds. Maya and Evan sat in the quiet of the small apartment, the city lights flickering faintly through the blinds. Weeks had passed since Horizon Labs collapsed, but the memory of that night, the chaos, the pressure, the moments Lena had dispersed, was still raw, vivid, alive in their minds. Maya held a cup of coffee, watching the steam curl into the air. "I keep expecting her to just show up," she said softly. Evan leaned back. "She's not like that anymore. Not fully. She's between. Between worlds, timelines, realities. She's the bridge." Maya frowned. A bridge? What does that even mean? Evan glanced at her. It means she's everywhere she needs to be to keep things from breaking. She's not gone, she's just different. And she'll be aware of us, watching, guiding. Maya thought about that, tracing the rim of her coffee cup with her finger. Do you think she's lonely? Evan hesitated. Maybe, but maybe not. She's whole in ways we can't understand. She has every version of herself that ever existed, every choice she made and didn't make. She's complete. A quiet hum filled the room, almost imperceptible. Maya froze, her eyes widening. Evan stiffened. Did you hear that? Maya whispered. Evan nodded. It's her, or at least the echo of her. She's letting us know she's here. The hum grew into something like a vibration in the very air around them, a resonance that made their skin tingle. It wasn't frightening. It was comforting, familiar. Maya smiled faintly. I don't know how that's possible, but it's nice to know she's still here. Evan took her hand. She saved more than one world, and she saved herself. Maybe she's even watching over all of us in ways we'll never notice. Maya nodded, feeling a warmth she hadn't expected. I guess that's her way of saying thank you and goodbye, or maybe hello. Evan laughed softly. Probably both. Outside, the city continued its rhythm, unaware of the invisible guardian weaving the threads of reality together. Somewhere, in an infinite network of timelines and possibilities, Lena Harper moved between worlds, her consciousness harmonized, whole and infinite. She wasn't trapped in one life, one identity, one world anymore. She was the culmination of all the lives she could have lived, and she carried them with her, quietly, unseen, untouchable, yet deeply present. In the quiet moments, when Maya closed her eyes and let her mind wander, she felt Lena's presence, not just in memories, not just in dreams, but as a subtle guiding force, a gentle reassurance that no matter what happened, balance would remain. Lena Harper had woken up in a different timeline, and in doing so, she had become something greater than herself, something eternal. She was no longer a girl displaced by circumstance. She was the keeper of infinite possibilities, the bridge across all worlds, the whisper in the folds of time that reminded the universe nothing is ever truly lost. And somewhere, always, she smiled.